It's streaming, but now the real test begins. Can people hear me? We'll get to our guest in a second, but I'm the important one here. So, hi community, can you hear me? I need verification. I see waves. Hi, Manic Gypsy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Corbulet. It says dog. Okay, well, they see a doggy, so visually they see things. Dead man, no. Dead man, no. All right, so I'm gonna please pet the dog, Misa. Look at dog feet. All right. So it looks like if they can hear me now, I guess you can say hello or something, and
Yep. Hello, everybody. I'm Misa, and this is Seto. He's the guest star. He's more important than me.
yay! I think they can hear you. Oh, I just bounced. Forgive me for slamming the table. I apologize. I'm trying to bypass a cat around here. And Misa has a Miku. OMG. Well, yeah, Misa has a Miku. More than one too, I hear. So, okay, cool. They can hear us. They can see us. We had Puppy guest star, so I think we can officially start. So as always, I am Nitocris or Julia. Sometimes I respond to "Hey you," but only if it's my daughter asking me. So sorry. And I am the community manager for Neverwinter. And I saw y'all last week, but I've missed you. So I am back, and I have brought someone else with me. So Misa, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you in our stream?
No, somebody said that like you're important, you need to show up for something, and I was like, oh God, I have to show up for something. I have to wake up in the morning and actually do something. Yeah, so I'm the lead product manager for Neverwinter. I used to be a system designer on the product, and I've been with Cryptic for a couple years. Well, actually, it's only like 4 now. I've been with Cryptic for a while. And so I'm on here to talk about some upcoming cool stuff and answer some questions with you.
Yay! Cool stuff. We like cool stuff. Hello, everybody who's here. All those joining in right now. So as always, I like to start by kind of going over some quick community stuff, and then we'll jump straight into the agenda of the stream, because we do have an agenda to take over the world. Well, yeah, that comes later. So quick community updates. We kind of announced something last week. I don't know if people remember. Ooh, my camera froze for a second. Hopefully it's still working. Yes. Oh, important never question. Julia, how's your cat? My cat is sunbathing again. He's sunbathing and pretending he can catch the birds because I left the window open. But yes, last week we announced, something called Dragon Slayer. Yeah, it is our new module. It's a clear module. And the really exciting thing, other than dragons, yes, lots of dragons, is that we are aiming for a simultaneous release between all platforms. So PC, PlayStation, Xbox, y'all get it on the same day. At least that's the goal, fingers crossed. Certifications, always things happen, but that is our goal. We're really trying. We know it's been a big request for years, and hoping to get there, and it's in June. Undetermined date right now. We will announce that closer to the date. I think June is an excellent month, not just because it's my birthday month, just because it's an excellent month. So we're really
Happy
excited.
birthday in advance,
Oh, thank you. My husband has his birthday first.
bastard.
I know, born 6 years before me and in May. Uh, but yes, so we are going to have a number of streams leading up to the launch. Some of them are going to be specific to Dragon Slayer, but there's other stuff that is more general, or things that happen beforehand, or things that are a little less specific. But we are planning a series of streams, and I'll hopefully announce the calendar soon. Dates are obviously, of course, subject to change. But today we are talking about the Battle Pass. Mid-month, yes, April 14th, I think it was, we announced that Draconic Rage would be starting on May 1st, which, yes, it is a Sunday. And I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. Where on the screen are you? Can I point? Whatever, the person who's not me. I don't know who decided on a Sunday, but yeah, it's starting May 1st. And I've already put on contingency plans to be alert of what's happening that day. But that is this Sunday, and we wanted to take a chance, have a chance to talk to you all about this Battle Pass, because we put out the blog and there were a lot of questions, and we felt it was probably better to answer them live and discuss it instead of trying to put more blogs out, because it is it's different than past battle passes, and we know that y'all are curious. So the agenda is Battle Pass Draconic Rage today. I know there's always a lot of other questions that come up, but we don't want to get too sidetracked. So we will leave other days to answer questions about other things. So that being said, we can't talk about Battle Pass without talking about Misa, because she's a face you haven't seen before on Neverwinter streams, or at least not like as a main guest. I think she's lurked in the background with Miku. Um,
Probably.
the flesh Miku, not the plush Miku. Flesh Miku. Ooh, can I call Miku Flesh Miku now? So
That would be a good one. We should do that.
yeah, all right, Flesh Miku. So a lot of questions already coming up, and we have those questions on our list, thankfully. But before we start specifically about Draconic Rage, I want to talk to Misa about her title, because it is a title we also have never seen. What the heck? Hell. I guess we've said hell before, so what the hell is a lead product manager, Misa?
Well, so in general, a product manager is a role that's responsible just, for the development of products for an organization, and it helps develop the product strategy behind a product, and like helping specify like functional future release requirements, and it bridges in game development specifically. It bridges the gap. It bridges the departments of production, design, and leadership, and analytics, and has a lot of the boring back end business stuff as well. So mainly, a lot of my role involves making sure like key performance indicators or KPIs are healthy. So things that like would be relevant to players, to all you would be like, for example, queue health. We want to make sure that the queues are healthy. You get your queues quickly, and there's not any weird behavior where like you get into a queue and then you're like, oh, I should just a random queue specifically, and I'm gonna bounce because I got this one that takes 3 times longer than the other ones in the queue. We have direct calls into the analytics to look at this and rearrange, make adjustments to make sure that the queues are healthy. You get a curated or reasonably like expected length experience when you queue up for, say, a random trial. You'd want it to be, between X and Y minutes, maybe between 10 and 20 minutes. And if it starts going to like 40 minutes, you'd be like, why am I doing this one? Why is this one much longer? So things like that to make sure things are still healthy. Make sure that players still have other people around to play with. Make sure that the events have new rewards, engaging content to play with, and just making sure that features that hit live have targets and metrics to make sure that that the users, the players, so every one of you is happy and having fun with it. Additionally, we can do things like dig into data, and see what type of equipment people are wearing, and make sure that we hit our targets with when we release new gear. We want you to replace a certain percentage of it each time. We can check to see if that happened. If we didn't, we can say, oh no, we didn't make the gear good enough, and we can buff it or learn more for the next time and release better gear this time. So the product manager's role is basically to make sure that the product is healthy, for both business needs and for the players, because obviously if the game's not healthy for players, it's not going to be healthy for business needs.
Well, thank you. And I actually really love the product management side. It's a fascinating area because it does combine production with design. And Misa has some great design chops. She comes from systems design, and I believe you're still doing some systems work, just because it is so connected in many ways. So
Yeah, product management isn't like, not all product managers are system designers. Not all system designers can go into product management, but they are very closely tied together. And a lot of the work that a lot of the systems work that I was already previously doing was work on lockboxes and battle passes, mounts and companions, and that type of implementation. So I'll still be doing that work. I'll still be designing mounts. I'll still be designing companions. I'll still be helping build lockboxes and other products for the live game. What I won't be doing as much, because I'm going to be pulling up. I have to do a lot of data pulls and help make sure feature goals are aligned. I've got a lot of other responsibilities. I won't be in general. Well, excuse me. I won't be as much of a direct owner of features that are not related to the business or key performance indicators or retention and engagement, like session length. But I will still be in a supporting role. So other designers might be doing some of the implementation. I'll be providing some of the oversight of some of the data, but I'll still be doing a decent amount of it myself in certain aspects.
Cool. And you mentioned lockboxes. Can we spoil what the blog you're working on, the component of the lockbox blog, the other part
I
of that?
mean,
Because it
I
has.
don't think anyone's gonna fire me over it, so I think we're probably fine.
All right. So, what is new with the lockbox that's coming up in soon? What's different about it?
Well, the one that comes after the Dark Omens lockbox, it's not fully ready for live servers yet, but it uses a more similar user interface to the Knox box. So it has a reward track where you can see upcoming guaranteed rewards, and you will have the guaranteed grand prize at the end. So you'll be able to, as long as you go through the entire reward track of the next one of the next lockboxes, you will get guaranteed the grand prize. Um, which for that one is going to be a choice of a mount or a companion, so you might want more than one.
Woohoo!
And yeah, so they're gonna. It does use keys still. And the structure is not exactly the same as the Knox box. It's based off of it, but the all of the odds are improved, like just across the board. So it's just higher probability gets grand prize. And previously it just we did have a quote streak breaker on the back end to increase the probabilities when if players started getting super unlucky. Now we just exposed it and also made that instead of being a probability increase, we just decided to make it guaranteed. We just think that's a better user experience and gets more of the cool mounts out to players.
Thank you. I so there was twofold reasons why I wanted to ask. One because it's really cool news and players were asking, they like information about rewards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also because it does take us into the battle pass. Because in the battle pass you have a grid where you see what rewards you're going to be unlocking. So that's kind of what players are used to. So I felt like was a good segue because we have also been getting a ton of questions about the Battle Pass already on the stream chat. So we'll get to those. I just want to say for those of you who are waiting for your codes from last stream with Ryan, I didn't get an email from every winner. I was waiting. I liked that way I could make the codes in bulk, but I didn't get everybody. So whoever wins today, whoever replies by the end of the day today, will get their code plus the people who won last time. I try to do things all together at once so it can be a little slower. But all right, so questions. A lot of questions from regarding Battle Pass. One of the first ones I saw was, why are we calling it Battle Pass? And I know that is a whole separate conversation that we can get into or not get into. So do you have any thoughts on the name Battle Pass, Misa?
So on the one hand, I'm just going to be candid because that's who I am.
We like
So
candid.
we have two names internally, and we're waffling on which one to call it between Season Pass and Battle Pass. Um, when I when I personally, and this is just my personal experience, and I'm not the only person who is part of this name. And the reason why it's named Battle Pass is mainly because I had it named internally Battle Pass and didn't change it before we announced it. That said, personally, I believe that this structure is more similar to a battle pass than it is a season pass. And what I mean by that in terms of similarity, as I mean in the gaming industry, when I go to buy a battle pass from a company, I'm expecting a few month long or a 14-week long or 12-week long um, system that I will play the game and you'll give me goodies, right? I get paid for playing the game. Yay, I get good stuff. A season pass to me is more something that I buy and it gives me some DLC for like a console game, right? Like, so you buy, you'll come out and you'll buy Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, for example, and they'll give you the option. Do you want to buy the season pass? And then you get the next 3 DLC for free. But it's not free, you bought it, but you get a discount. So to me, they're two slightly different features in the industry. And I think that what we're releasing is more similar to a battle pass than a season pass, even though it's not exactly the same structure. Um, and rather than trying to create some new name, bespoke name for this, we just decided to go with the most similar name that other companies use, and because it's just more clear, and people understand what it is. But the structure itself hasn't changed that much from Echoes of Prophecy.
Cool. That actually takes me to the question, which is how does it differ from Echoes of Prophecy?
Yeah,
Also, sorry,
so
real quick, for those of you who were not here during Echoes of Prophecy, that was our first real Battle Pass attempt. So you can look information online about it. So anyway, sorry, go ahead. How does it differ?
so it differs a decent amount. The Echoes of Prophecy Battle Pass was made to tie directly into specific content, and was built around that content. This season pass, and so because of that, we have to tie it directly. We have to tie it directly to a specific release schedule, and make sure that it releases with specific other live features. Um, as you may have noticed, we did our first prototype season pass with the Redeem Citadel, and then we did our second one with Echoes of Prophecy. If you were here for those two, um, we they take a really long time to build when they're made like that. And so that's unfortunate because battle passes tend to be pretty well received, uh, just in general. Because even if you don't want to buy anything, you just get free stuff by just playing the game. Uh, and so we want to make it more sustainable to create battle passes so we can have more of them. So this is a battle pass that was made specifically to do those conversions and set it up so that we can run these more often with and perhaps with different reward structures. But this is the one we're just trying to keep it similar to Echoes of Prophecy,
Okay, cool.
but it's not exactly the same. But in the reward structure is slightly different. Additionally, a little bit of a difference that we have going on with this is for premium pass holders in Echoes of Prophecy, if you didn't complete a milestone in time, like so you missed month one, you're working on month two, your experience would be split between the milestones and kind of go up like that, and it would slow you down. This one, if you're premium and you miss the milestone, so if you miss May and you come in June and you have a premium pass, it just progresses concurrently. So you don't have it's not like you have to run double or triple. Additionally, this one has a slightly different way of accruing the tasks. So in this case, in this specific battle pass, we're requesting players to go run trials slash skirmishes or random ones, or random dungeons or advanced dungeons. Uh, those can change. For one, we can add in a different feature. We can mess around a little bit. We can add more. We can go up to 6 different ones, but right now we're trying to keep it 2 to 3. And the way that works is every day you'll log on and you'll get an allowance to go do every one of those tasks. If you miss a day to log in, don't worry about it because you'll get the days you missed as well, up to 3. So if you miss 5 days, you'll still only get 3 allowances, but you'll still have the 3. It won't just be I missed 4 days. You only miss a couple. So if you miss up to 2 days, no problem. And then you can then you can just run 3 skirmishes back to back and clear that out. So it's different in terms of how you earn the currencies and the leniency of how you progress it.
Thank you. And then I've seen Dermano's question, and so I've seen comments about how you're answering questions I'm asking, and that's because I've gotten pretty good about anticipating what kind of questions y'all gonna ask. Only I word them slightly differently. I'm a gentler, kinder soul. But Dermano did ask, which is, let's get right into it. What do those of us who have the majority of the rewards from the Battle Pass do? If the rewards are bound, they can't be used. The way I had worded it internally is, who is the audience for this Battle Pass?
Yeah, so like the audience for this battle pass is the bulk of players. But the if we want to get more specific, this battle pass is more targeted towards players who do not have a full stable of legendary mounts and companions. Most and we when we did a quick look in data, most of our players don't have a full stable of legendary plus mounts or a full set of legendary plus companions. So hopefully, by making it more accessible to more players, more people will have these these mounts, and they'll be first off, they'll engage with the battle pass because that's what we really want them to do, to play the game and get the items. And then in that process, they'll get better, they'll get stronger, and it'll make the queues healthier for everybody. Item levels will go up, and players will be hopefully enjoying that power increase. And yeah, so we're trying to close the gap between players who don't have a full stable and players who do. Um, and I recognize that some players do have a sizable portion of all of the rewards here. But like while some endgame players do have that, when we check the data analytics, it's not the case for most endgame players, and certainly not most mid game players. So like basically we're just trying to make sure that this is focused on players who don't have those. That said, that is not going to be the same for every battle pass. There's going to be rewards for people of all player types across all these battle passes.
Mhm. To me, when you and I were discussing this, just because Aster also sent me some questions. Hi, Aster, if you're watching, unless you're doing early access right now, I can't remember. Um, one of the questions was why all rewards in the Battle Pass are based on new players. Endgame, middle game players have already most of the rewards. So analytics show that it's actually not middle game players don't have it. But when you were discussing these questions and yesterday as well, I also thought about when we put out content. We have the trials or dungeons. We have the master mode of trials, but then we also come out with the standard or normal mode. So we try to have content that is in the same genre, but for different audiences. And
Right.
yeah, so that way with battle passes, it's not always going to be for the one specific, like it's not always going to be for one specific type of player. It's going to vary, so it's more accessible, approachable to a variety of our player base. That's what I interpret it as.
Yeah, and that's a really good explanation too. Basically, like certain content's directly targeted towards endgame raiders. Like specifically really hard trials, for example, would be. Wow, I'm losing my voice already. This is terrible.
Did you bring your water? I
So
saw whiskey on the, is that whiskey?
I have both. No, this is not whiskey. This is tea. Yeah, it's tea, not whiskey at
Like
all.
Terramax version of
And
tea.
and this is just my water. Oh no, it's actually vodka.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just kidding. Anyhow, I lost my train of thought in our vodka and booze discussion because now I'm getting drunk just thinking about it. But yeah, what was the question again? I
We were
totally
talking
spaced.
about the example of having dungeons and trials at different modes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so trials would like a very hard trial would be directly targeted towards endgame players, but with something like the battle pass, it's something that's always going to be more broad. So it will probably be you'll see battle pass that are targeting towards new players all the way up to players who have don't have full legendary mount stables. You'll see battle passes that target mid-core players all the way up to the super hardcore endgame players. I have pretty much everything in the game. But you won't see is a battle pass specifically targeted towards only new players or specifically targeted towards only endgame players, because the point of this feature is to be more far-reaching and affect almost all players. So mid-core players should probably be expected to be affected on most of them.
Hmm.
As we transition them towards endgame players and they get stronger and stronger and join our endgame trial queues and
Yeah.
defeat crazy dragons with multiple heads.
Oh yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that one and others. Um, so one of the questions was, we can get more into like the future battle passes. We'll get more into that later. But like, I do want to answer how many battle passes are we looking at doing throughout the year? Because players are used to having one, and I think that was a little bit of the concern that I got when they saw the blog come out, and they're like, "What? This is the one battle pass we get a year, and these rewards aren't for me." So I think that was
Yeah,
a little bit of panic.
exactly.
So what are you
Yeah,
thinking in terms of how many a year?
yeah. So we're totally. I was like, oh god, that's the reaction players had. They only expect one per year. I gotta change this one. So no, we don't expect to do only one battle pass per year. We expect to do 3 to 4. We're not exactly sure on the exact length. Right now, they're currently set for one calendar month. But other products, other games don't do it specifically tied to a calendar month and milestone like that. Sometimes they do it based on just like hours or 6 weeks or hours or 8 weeks. So they might end up getting changed slightly in structure in terms of how long they are and how many weeks a milestone lasts. Because tying it to calendar dates directly, like specifically the first and end of the month, makes it much more difficult for release planning and release schedules and lining it up with other products. So if we were able to set more variable times, it probably would end up being better. So you could probably expect to see that we might have milestones of different lengths, but I would certainly expect they would not be any shorter than the length of a month. And yeah, I would expect to see 3 to 4 battle passes per year if possible. And yeah, some of them will have new stuff, and some of them will be focused on getting players caught up.
Cool, thank you. And then let's go back to some more questions, community questions. This one also came from Aster. And I do know that Aster reached out to their community as well. So it's a good way for us to get some questions ahead of time and also that combine with the live ones. That is the Mountain Companion Choice Pack in the Battle Pass an account-wide reclaim, or is it only for a single character?
Right, so the mounts and companion choice packs from the premium track are account reclaim. The free rewards are once per account, but what that means is if you have premium, you'll get a single legendary one of your choosing that can go on any one of your characters, and an account-wide unlock one. Additionally, we have noticed that while some players may have a full stable of legendary mounts, they don't have a full stable of account unlocked legendary mounts, so it's still useful for your other characters too.
Cool, thank you. And then I did see a question, who needs content when you have battle passes? Oh, we do have content too. It is, it is a balance of finding, finding time to put out content that is both the recurring, like battle passes or events, but also have new content such as the modules. And just like we announced Dragon Slayer coming out in June, we are hoping to also get another module out before the end of the year. With Dragon Slayer, you will get a new type of content called the Dragon Hunts, which we've had other hunts in the game, and these I think combine a lot of the best elements of the hunts that people like. So like some of the elements from Barovia hunts, which are really popular. I'm really looking forward to folks being able to try it out on preview. We are aiming early May for preview, so very soon. So that is also new content. It's not like we're doing battle passes instead of new content. We are doing a combination of both. So it's hopefully something for everybody. And let's check. Let me look at the other questions. And Misa, as always, if you see a question that I've missed on the chat, please let me know. I'm trying to balance all the different questions. But if you see something you want to jump on, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll answer Amos's. I don't know if all of the rewards were directly shown in the Battle Pass blog. I believe they all show in the microtransaction though. When you're looking at purchasing the premium pass. But yeah, I'm not sure that I don't think the blog was. I don't think the blog was inclusive.
That's the premium pass is not available in the Zen market yet until it starts, right?
Yeah, it won't be available until it starts, unfortunately.
Right, I'll go ahead and see if I can get the full list after the stream. I was gonna go to bed with some NyQuil because I am under the effects of something, but I will take some time to send out the the prize codes for any winners, and also see if I can find the full list of rewards and I can post them somewhere.
I did just spill water all over my face. That's fine.
Water. Hey, it's disinfectant. It's disinfecting.
Yeah, it's disinfectant.
Yeah,
disinfectant.
All right. So, question is: any reason why legacy quests were removed from contribution? Echoes of Prophecy had it.
Yeah, so with the Draconic Rage Battle Pass, one of the goals is to keep the random queues healthy, so we've opted to keep this specific Battle Pass with a more narrow focus, and that's specifically to target the random queue health. That's not to say that future Battle Passes won't be tied into directly tied into specific content releases or have legacy quests included. It's just this one specifically in the task system doesn't have them. But you might see, like, for example, had this battle pass launched 2 months later and Dragon Hunts were, the module was live, Dragon Slayer is up, you might have seen Dragon Hunts be one of the tasks. So it really depends on what's live and what we're targeting in terms of gameplay health. And in this one, it's the random queues.
Um, so someone was talking about battle passes being themed. Well, I would hope something called Draconic Rage would go well with Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, so we're
So
trying to make Jesus, I can't talk. Yeah, so we're trying to make sure that there's at least some sort of tie-in to the module, in terms of theming. Just like Lockboxes, we'd really like it, but sometimes it's just not possible due to development cycles and what type of assets we have available and what type of resources we have in terms of people to help build something. So it's not always a direct tie-in, but yes, we do believe that thematic tie-ins are better than not. So we try to, but it's not always possible. And I'm going to try and drink my tea without spilling it all over myself this time.
and yeah, Deadmano, any chance we'll be able to see the full rewards of a battle pass instead of having FOMO like we did with Echoes of Prophecy, having to buy the pass in case we miss a reward we actually want. Can we have transparency? I'm going to try to post the information on rewards, but also talk to the team about the full scope. That's something that I still want to discuss with all the people who make decisions.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't have my tools open right now in front of me, so I'm not sure. But I believe the microtransaction tells you what your premium rewards are,
Mhm.
and you'll be able to look. And there hasn't been a structure change. Yeah, right now, it'll release milestone by milestone, and that said, it's really good feedback to keep in mind, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure if we have a great solution right now, and I obviously won't be able to address it for Draconic Rage, but we'll definitely look into making sure that players can understand what is in the Battle Pass because you are buying a premium purchase if you want to. Obviously, there's good rewards on the free track, but there's more rewards and generally more big ticket rewards on the premium. So we definitely want you to be able to see what you're buying, so you know if it's valuable or not and good for you.
Yeah, and that actually relates to another question, which was one of the specific rewards was, and I remember this because I put in the JIRA internally. Will the Icosahedron Ironstone be reworked? It gives XP bonus that should be an outdated bonus for the current system. Yes, because we don't have XP, we have progress now. And when that was escalated to me initially, I put in a JIRA and I think Misa, you had some thoughts on that. Like you don't have specific details, but uh, I think
Right? Yeah. I
I
don't
assigned
have
the
any.
Jira to you or somebody. I'm not sure who I assigned it to.
I don't have any specific details to share. We intend to update the power for the current system. I don't actually know where the jury is. It is not on me. It's probably on one of the systems designers, which
Oh, it could
is
be.
dangerous because they're really, really busy. So we'll have to probably poke them to remind them to help us out a little bit with this
Well,
power.
I hear
But
you're within poking distance of Fletch Miku, so you know.
I am
It's
within poking distance of Flesh Miku, and but Flesh Miku is pretty,
I do.
pretty busy. So we might have to hinge on Lasso or one of our other
Robert
system
G.
designers,
Yeah, no, it's
Robert G,
uh
Mr. Guchera,
I just wanted to
or as I like to call him, Guts.
guts. Guts is known. Guts was known for during the Neverwinter community earlier. Then he left, and now he's back. But I just wanted an excuse to say Flesh Miku. But
Yep,
I know
that's
she's
fine.
very busy. All right. So yeah, a lot of number of these questions. I'm glad that they've already come up live. This one. Any transmute fashion items? The last battle pass had plenty.
Yeah, so not for this one. Maybe for the next ones. We wanted to put some transmutes and appearance items in, and as we went trying to go find what type of asset time we had in the timeline for this battle pass, it was minimal. So we had to make some tough decisions and skip the fashion and transmute for this.
All right, it is the halfway mark, and I'm gonna do a giveaway. So let me bring up
Giveaway.
Moobot. The giveaway is the Rainbow Starry Panther mount and companion, and the Vanity Pet. Sorry, not companion. Not yet. Someday maybe. The mount and Vanity Pet. And I have discussed these Rainbow Starry items with Misa in the past, so I know that she's interested in helping me come up with other ideas. Um,
I am always a fan of Rainbow Starry anything. So like I don't know. Let's go crazy. Let's find some new things to Rainbow Starify.
all right. Um, Whiskey tea, yes. All right. If you want a chance to win a Rainbow Starry Panther mount and vanity pet, type in the word. Let's see. I won't do that one yet. Type in the word Draconic. 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 All right, and as those come in, one of my favorite things to do is to just start chatting while the whole chat floods with the word draconic, um, and then play the "Can you see a question?" mixed in the draconic. All right, cool.
I
Um,
missed you too, Jet. I saw a comment of relevance in the Draconic span.
it says Julia, what a great song. Julia is a great song. I am named after the Beatles song Julia, and a movie called Julia. Um, for those, I think I've mentioned that before. PC only, no. I have these rewards for all platforms. And if you are chosen, if you are one of the chosen, you would send an email to community@crypticstudios.com to let me know what platform you're on. And I created the spreadsheet. But for some reason, when I created the spreadsheet of codes, they did not work when I tested them. So I think I made a mistake when creating the campaign, which is why I had to create them manually. Because my goal for this year was to have already codes pre-created, so then I could have moderators just give codes to the winners. But best laid plans. All right, I'm gonna draw three winners. Cyan 3594, Cian 3594. Congratulations. And Kat Fielderson, Kat spelled with a K, and then Fielderson, the last name, I'm guessing. Unless you are the son of a field. That'd be pretty cool. I am the son of Frederick by marriage. Congratulations. And then the last one is Luck Plays underscore. So Luck Plays, Cat Fielderson, and Cyan3594. Congratulations. Please email community@crypticstudios.com to let me know if you are on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. And we'll do one more giveaway later on. But I want to get to some other questions.
I did catch one in the chat that I was going to answer.
Go ahead.
So to answer your question, Neo Chaos 79, yes, ASMR race is in fact being added to the Zen store with Dragon Slayer. You
Oh,
can be everybody can be an ASMR now.
so whenever I hear the name of that race, I always think of I always hear either ASMR, so the for those of you who like
Yes,
those,
me
yeah,
too.
which that's those I like those. We each have our preferences, or the word ass. So it just
I agree.
I'm gonna go with the donkey version of that word, but so it creates a great I just imagine a donkey whispering as something you can buy in the Zen market now. So I'm gonna go with
Right?
that. Yeah.
Whispering Donkey. We should make that a mount.
Let's see. We have a lot of questions about fashion and transmutes. Both we had them ahead of time, and they're also from the community. And one of the things that's come up for quite some time now is like having fashion the same fashion that can be worn by both the male and female characters. And I know that I personally would like one. I know you're not a character artist. Um,
Yep.
but maybe you have some influence of power, as a product manager, you can go to a character artist and say, make it happen. So,
Well, I'm not that cool. I don't think I can go and say make it so like Picard over here. But I do agree that having gender agnostic or gender agnostic is the right way. Fashion is a great thing. It's just good in general for inclusivity, and some people want to wear the same clothes on one side or the other. Um, so no, I totally agree. A lot of our fashion comes from outsourcing as well, and so we have multiple avenues to look into seeing if we can make that so.
and I saw that Jules Midnight Light already also addressed some stuff, which, by the way, shout out to moderators, both from the Cryptic and both volunteer. Thank you so much. Always appreciated. Uh, all right. Let's see. Let's look at the questions. And let's see. So this one is the one I was also curious about, which was because I remember the kickoff meeting when we talked about Battle Pass, and they're like, Misa, design this Battle Pass. So what went into designing it? Like what, when you sat down, you're like, okay, I now have to learn what the heck all this Battle Pass is for Neverwinter, what they did. Like, so what was your approach to it?
This one's a little bit of a funny story. So, I got assigned to make the next battle pass, and then we had some people end up getting poached and getting some good job offers and leaving. Those people happened to be the people who knew how to build these. So when I went to go check our documentation, it was a little light in this aspect. So I had to basically totally deconstruct Echoes of Prophecy from the top down, see how it worked, and then document like the implementation process of how it was built so that it would be faster to build the next one, because nobody actually had we had a tribal knowledge issue where people didn't really know exactly how to build it. So the first thing that I did is I spent a lot of time going through and figuring out exactly how the thing ticks. I felt like a mad scientist, like opening up like a robot or something and like tearing it apart. So that was the first part. Then after that, after I figured out how it was built and wired, I had to find out what parts weren't actually in use because there were some. That took some bit of time. Then it goes through the standard feature process of what type of rewards do we want to do, and in general, when features are being given to an IC or an individual contributor, and that's what I was at the time, you're given a set of goals, a set of constraints, and it's a set of success criteria. And so I took those goals and success criteria and constraints and designed this feature to fit within the framework of the Echoes of Prophecy Battle Pass, and tried to build something that would meet the goals that we need this feature to accomplish. In that process, we get to the rewards, and while building rewards, one of the biggest portions is systems can build rewards pretty quickly. It's the art aspects that tend to be pretty heavy. So depending on when we're building stuff and what people are currently working on, we have more or less time to get new assets or rewards. So sometimes, depending on the situation, we might not get as many, and therefore you'll end up getting a battle pass that focuses a little bit more on providing existing rewards to newer to mid-core players rather than targeting towards end. And then when we do have more time to build a new mount, we may put one in, or a new companion, or a new artifact, or just like the Neverwinter hunting hawk, a gadget, I think we're calling them now. So it really, like, I took all those constraints and all those time and where we were in the development process for Dragon Slayer, and selected the rewards from that, and then it goes through this knockdown, beat 'em down fight where stakeholders go into, I wouldn't call it a fight, but it's like stakeholders get into a room and go, will these rewards do the thing what we need? Gavel, bang, bang. And then once we agree that we think that the rewards are acceptable, we finish the implementation, and then QA gets to tell me how broken it is. Which I got a lot of bugs, and then we had to go through that and fix those bugs, do some incrementals. As some players might have seen, we had some. It hit the calendar on live a little faster than I might have wanted with a different name. With the placeholder name, you might have seen that. Yeah, we got to be a little bit more careful, and then QA caught that for us, and we're like, oh no. So yeah, so and then we fixed the bugs, and then write a blog for y'all, yeah. and then come on a stream, and here we are.
It was a very fast turnaround, and probably faster than Misa would like. But it does give us some experience, and now we have data on what issues come up when we try to do a faster turnaround. How is it received by the community? It's something that we always learn. And another reason I do these streams is because you folks get to hear from us talk about how we design things in the meetings we have internally and discussions. And I said before, I'm lucky that I get to lurk in a number of these meetings. I just kind of sit there and listen, or sometimes make puns and jokes to lighten the mood.
That's not true. You contribute.
Yes. Sure, we'll call it that. But I'm all, when I go into these meetings, and people can attest to that, my peers can. I go in with a community mindset, and I'm always thinking about, okay, how is this going to be received? And I already had a feeling about how this battle pass was going to confuse people, and so these streams are helpful for me to be able to give more information to the community, but also for the rest of the team to see how these streams go and what do we learn. So we're not just learning from the analytics and the metrics, which are really critical. Otherwise, Misa would not have a job. So we do need to have some quantifiable metrics, to guide our decisions. But the qualitative data, which is what you guys tell me, what you folks tell me, is really important too. So that's, one of the helpfulness of these streams is that we get to see questions come up and then match that with how the response to the content, how we put it out, and how that molds future release. So it's all tied together. It might seem like we're just throwing things at a dart, but there is actually some logic. It just might be written in the internal logic way we like to write our internal logic, which doesn't make much sense sometimes. Sometimes our naming convention is not very logical. So yeah, this is all really useful for us to see. And Gond, so much Gond. Gond is really well loved, isn't that event is really well loved.
Yeah, it is.
It is. So something to keep in mind, Misa, when we're talking about events. Um, but Galactic actually is asking us a question, but that is campaign, but I'm going to relate it to battle passes, which is, we've talked a little bit about the rewards and who the audience is for, but the way we worded it is, what is the incentive to run the what do you see as the main incentive to run a battle pass? And Galactic asks, what is the incentive to run a campaign? But Galactic, I'm piggybacking off your question to make it about battle
So,
passes.
the main incentive to run the battle pass is mainly because, honestly, it's giving you, as long as you play over time over the course of a month, it basically gives you a sizable amount of free rewards, even if you don't want to engage with even if you don't want to pay. Like, even if you don't want to pay, I believe we're giving over $60 worth of rewards over 3 months on the free track. And I believe it's like over like almost $200 in rewards on the over 3 months on the, if you were gonna go buy them directly from the Zen store over the course of 3 months on the premium track. So the main reason I'm gonna be direct for the battle pass, you want to run that because you want the goodies. And I recognize that maybe not everybody's gonna want every single battle pass, and that's okay. But even the free track should have goodies for you that you will want, and it'll be helpful. As far as campaigns, um, I don't really want to go too deep into why this specific campaign is different, but we're hoping that this one will last a little bit longer than previous campaigns. We've made some noticeable adjustments based on data, targets, and goals, and that type of community sentiment that the players want to have a reason to keep playing. Um, so we do have some stuff in mind to keep players engaged. Hopefully we did mention dragon hunts. Hopefully the dragon hunts are fun. There's a lot of different dragons you can fight at different types and different ways to alter that experience. I'm not going to go too details on that, but there's a lot of ways to alter that experience, and there's a lot of really good rewards you get from killing dragons. I mean, one would be shocked to find that slaying dragons tends to be pretty important to the city of Neverwinter, so they're going to give you some good stuff.
Yeah. And so, one of the things I was thinking about, because when we've internally play tested the Dragon Hunts, which, by the way, the environments are amazing. Each of them have their own really cool environment. But imagine you are a player who has, all the awesome, legendary, mythic stuff, and you're looking at Battle Pass, and you're like, not really my thing. So, when Dragon Slayer comes out, you can be focused on the Dragon Hunts or other contents for the module. And say you have a friend who, either hasn't played in a while or hasn't tried Neverwinter, or, they're maybe a little bit hesitant and they're like, I don't want to try Dragon Hunts right now. What is something else I can try to kind of get a feel for the game and get rewards they don't have? They can start out with doing Battle Pass stuff. And it's a way to bring your friends in a more friendly way, and let them experience the game, let them learn the ropes, and also create that sense of community. Those of you who are experts you can share your knowledge. And many of you do. Many of you write amazing guides. You put videos. So, that's it's a way to also help guide other players. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the whole spirit of an MMO. Um, and I did want to. There was a lot of talks about discussions about more helms that fit on all the races, which reminded me of for those of you who caught the D&D Direct show, where they announced a Spelljammer with the Hippo race. Uh, my immediate demand to our team was we needed the Hippo race, and of course the fear. I could sense the fear in their eyes as they thought about how to fit the helm on the Hippo heads. So I looking forward to a lot of fan art of a lot of the Hippo race with helms. So especially with Jarl Axel's that big fancy hat he wears. Um, all right. So we do have a question, actually, Vordraxian. What was the thinking in removing the battle pass from the Zen store during the last chance portion of the event? I'm not upset, but you'd have sold another one if it was still there. So how do we decide when to remove things from the Zen market, Misa? Especially
I
when
have
it
no
relates to the
idea
battle
why
pass.
that was set up the way it was set up. I'm going to speak completely honest. It was set up by someone who had left the company when I was already trying to when I was trying to figure out how this sucker worked. Those guys had already left. So I don't know what the logic was behind removing it during the last chance. That said, I don't have the data in front of me, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this one you can in fact buy it during the last chance. That said, if you do buy the premium during the last chance, you're probably going to have to buy the buyouts because you're probably not going to have enough time to do to complete it unless you bought it right at the start of last chance. But I believe that you'll be able to buy it during last chance still.
Okay. I will try to get that information.
I'm talking about the sorry Vordrax again. I'm talking about the next battle pass, not the current one. I don't know much about the current one specifically, and I you can't buy it now, and I don't think there's any way for us to turn that on right this second.
But as we've talked about how while we do want to let some rewards be exclusive for a certain amount of time, we can look at the rewards from previous battle passes over time and bring them back in some other ways. But like I said, we do want to
Yeah,
respect that exclusivity. So yeah.
I mean, on that one specifically, like in this battle pass, we don't have any exclusives. But everything's already accessible in game for this one. That said, just for the community's sake, our rule of thumb is to keep promotional and limited time items exclusive for around 6 months to a year. Battle Pass were a little bit more flexible because they're kind of rapid fire. In the new world, they might be a little bit more consistent and more running more often. So it might be that rewards can come back quickly. But I would certainly expect to see old exclusives from the Battle Passes come back in the future. Um, it might be sooner than you expect because we have had comments about people wanting that hawk and some of the companions from the previous one. So we might find a way to get that going soon. And I think we'll be right around that 6 month window. So you might be able to see some of this stuff coming soon. Maybe, but it's not for this battle pass.
And so before we do another giveaway, I know that one of the questions I had written down, which was like what is your long-term plan for battle passes? But I wanted to start off with what is on Misa's personal wish list for a battle pass in terms of either design or rewards or like if you
Oh
had
God.
if you had the ultimate power to make the decision, what would you do?
So my first go-to would probably be on the internal side to make them easier to build because there's a lot of moving parts. And there's a lot that goes wrong with these. They're kind of complicated with a mesh of wiring. Okay, so if I had a say in it, in terms of like a perfect battle pass, I'm not. Oh, that's a really good question. I would probably like to see at least one unique transmute or aura like VFX one unique visual thing for each battle pass for sure. So what I mean by that is like it could be a new mount, it could be a new companion that's super cool, it could be a fashion thing that's super awesome that everybody wants, it could be a new artifact that has a super cool VFX and super cool powers. um something new, unique visually that is also and also include power enough power on the items here that are so it's super fun for people to play. Unfortunately, it's hard to get super unique visual items all the time,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure our art director will come over to my house and Batman me, like throttle me if I keep asking for more stuff. But I'm gonna keep trying anyways.
I'll try to get on Chris's good side. Uh, so one of the reasons I asked you is because I also want the community to think about if they could design a battle pass, what is on their wish list? And now the criteria is it can't be give me game breaking stats items for every single reward that I don't have to put any work into. That cannot be your battle pass. It has to still comply with the game mechanics. So, but I do want players to think, as I think sometimes we all lose sight of the differences of thoughts we have. What one player might see as an awesome battle pass, another player might be like, that's not going to work for me. So just something for the community to think about, and maybe share their information or feedback in a nice civil way on the forums when we start the thread for Battle Pass. So while I go start up the next giveaway, I also want you to talk about like we talked about how many Battle Passes we envision. But any other thoughts on like the long-term plan for battle passes? Like how maybe talk about how they're interspersed with module releases. Will they coincide with module releases? Will they be in between? Or just any other final thoughts?
Yeah, so they'll I think it'll be kind of they're kind of on their own schedule. Like so battle passes, they don't one thing I want to be clear about is while battle passes do take some of the same resources in terms of like if we need a mount and art and character art doesn't have enough time to build a mount, it's using that same resource of the character artist. Um, they're different people work on battle passes versus module content. It's not like you're losing anything by having these people work on these battle passes in live events. Like that's kind of where we're at here. Like so, product likes to focus on live server stuff more so than the modules themselves. So as a product manager, it's important for me to make sure that the events are running at a reasonable rate. Battle passes are a type of event. When we want to run those pretty consistently, um, they're mostly they might not line up directly on with a module, but they may. It really depends when things line up. So battle passes are built for the live game based on needs and timing for the live game, and a lot more goes into the needs and timing for when a module releases because it is incredibly complicated to capacity plan for a team this large. And so sometimes the modules have to release due to a lot more constraints than a battle pass. So it might not line up dead on, but it might sometimes. The main thing is we always want the battle pass to be around to give players something to do and something to earn over time, no matter what is live. That said, like if we were to release a new zone, if that new zone had a skirmish, we might go, guess what? That skirmish is one of the tasks for the battle pass and it's tied directly in, and this battle pass is themed based on whatever adventure zone we released, and or whatever we release for the that skirmish. So I guess the answer is it varies. I rambled a lot
Yeah.
for that, but
No, I appreciate it. I'm going to start the giveaway, and then I'm going to have a couple of comments from chat that I want to
great.
share. So if you want another chance to win the Rainbow Starry Panther mount and vanity pet available on all platforms, please enter the word RAGE, RAGE. I'll put you all in a frenzy of rage. So yes, Rage, RAGE, if you want a chance to win. And in the meantime, two things that jumped out at me is one, Nerdy PG. I like how they worded this too. Is can we have battle passes that pollinate players into older zones of the game? I like their use of the word pollinate because it's it's a
Yeah,
word. Yeah,
that is very possible,
yeah.
honestly. That I right now this one is for random cues. But yeah, there's a total possibility that you will see one that directs players to go do some older content.
And then the next one was Zetamano, Miku hair when? And I had to giggle at that because I've actually had conversations with Miku about Miku hair. So, just saying, we've talked about this.
we definitely want to have a better set of twin tails in the game, if at all possible. I don't know why anybody would want this, but we would probably just hopefully. It's been requested. We don't know if anything's gonna happen, but yes, twin tails have been asked for by a couple of people, so we'll see if we get them. But maybe if you all shout for twin tails too, you'll have a better chance.
So now I know what to use. Now I know what to use as a code word for giveaways for next stream. Confuse my future guests by using the word twin tails.
Right?
All right, I'm gonna draw the winners. Let's see. Big Dog Matt 123. Congratulations, Big Dog Matt 123. Uh, gr- Great Jester, Greatens Jester, G-R-8-S-N-J-S-T-T-R. It could be Trickster Rogue too, or just Trickster Rogue. But congratulations. And the final one is Clayton Valaris. Congratulations, Clayton Valaris. And Great and Jester and Big Dog Matt 123. Please email community@crypticstudios.com to let me know PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. And I will get you your codes along with those who won during the Day of the Dungeon Master stream. We're going to wrap up, but I did want to just remind people that we have the Battle Pass starting this Sunday, May 1st. We will open up a feedback thread. We'll include a link to the stream as well, so people get some background info. And we will see how players react to it. I love having Misa as a guest. I love chatting with her during work hours. So this is a chance for me just to get her to myself instead of all the other people who want her time. If we need to do more streams, talk about more stuff or other exciting things that Misa might be working on in the future.
Anytime.
Yeah, and but I do have other streams planned. The schedule is still being kind of arranged, but future streams include what I call Lasser System Stuff stream. I kind of want to leave the title like that. A stream focused on rewards, which we will have Miku and hopefully a Brett too, the EP. And then after that, I've got either Bard or Dragon Hunt stream. And so there's a number of streams coming up. Just stay tuned for the schedule. We're trying to give you as much information, a chance to ask all these other questions. The email again, Big Dog Matt, was community@crypticstudios.com. And I just need to know what platform, PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. But thank you so much for the community for being here, asking questions. Tried to capture as many as possible. There was a lot of crossover between things we got ahead of time and things that were asked here. And thank you, Misa, for the first time. I hope it went well. I hope we didn't scare you off too much. I hope
Oh,
you.
I have done streams for much meaner people than this.
Oh,
No,
that is a challenge. That's a challenge now, right?
Oh no, they
Please don't
asked
take that as a
perfectly
challenge.
great questions. They were perfectly nice. Everybody here is super awesome. Yeah, I've been doing streams for a while. You might have seen me on one of the Magic ones. That one was more stressful than this, I'll tell you what. But yeah, I'm happy to come back. I'm glad the audience seems to like me. They haven't met me well enough. They don't know me. Like everybody else hates me.
Then they would
The audience
love
like
you,
me.
Misa. If they knew you very
Oh, if
well.
they met me, oh god, yeah, sure. I can be mean sometimes.
Well, thanks everybody. As always, stay safe, stay cool, and we will see you some other time. Bye bye.